AGI, we locked and loaded, we iron sighted, we rushing the front, we cap objectives, and we clearing the trenches. Welcome to my series where I called it verbalizing my violence, where I try my best to keep myself accountable for my self-improvement. What are my mistakes? What have I done well? What can I do better? My first mistake happened right here, where I shot the ATV. It's something normal somebody gets in the JL TV, I think is the name of it, and they want to shoot the gun. So that's what I did. But unfortunately, I popped the tire. Now how is that a mistake? Because that's transportation for 1 to 3 people, if not maybe more. Maybe a fourth person can jump on. I don't know. So number one, I want to cap midfield. And I'm grateful that I have like-minded teammates. I have about 2 or 3 other people along with me. So in this initial clash in the beginning on this map here, I want to wait for the dust to settle a little bit and just to see where other players, because still people aren't settled in, what other players are going to be doing, what moves are they going to be making. So I want to hold what we have until we have a line. What I consider a line, I mean, we have our points, 2 or 3. The other team has 2 or 3, hopefully. That's if people are pushing objectives. So now primarily on this level, there are 2 lanes. The lane that's inside, both of them are inside. One is going to be over here in the seating area. The other part is going to be in the luggage area. So imagine you're in the airport, a real airport. So now I'm just trying to fortify my position with mines. Somebody came by, I'm not sure where. I want to see them before they see me. I communicate to the rest of my team, listen, cap B. Now, the point of this is what I want to say right now. Please pay attention to what I'm going to tell you. 40 years of gaming is going to what I just told you. I want you to notice what happened with the player on my team who was wearing red. When they pushed up, I pushed up with them. It's going to happen again. This is the second example. I have a teammate pushing up. I'm pushing up with them. Also, there's a side note when I'm trying to clear this room. When I was first in the room, I wanted to check the weak corner, assuming that my teammate was going to check the strong corner. There's a lot going on here. There was a player out on the other side from the enemy team getting shot at. There was a player out from the enemy team. I didn't want to take the shot unless I was confident I was going to get the kill. Why? Because if I took the shot and I didn't get the kill, then I'm only going to give away my position. And of course, that's not going to be helpful for myself nor my team. So I get the Wilson, great. One thing I've learned with Wilsons is that you want to use them as if they are yourself. Don't throw the Wilson out in the middle of 20 other enemies shooting at you so that you lose the benefit of your Wilson. You want to try your best to keep the Wilson alive for as long as possible. So you want to manage 2 things. Number one, you want to manage obviously the damage that you do to the enemy team, but you also want to manage the health of the Wilson. So if you notice, I could rush the enemy side. I know where they're spawned. I know where they're coming from, but I know that by keeping them respawning once they push this side, because that's the only way they're going to reach the other objectives, I can allow my team to push up. Here, a player makes a mistake. I'm not sure what he was thinking. And again, notice how many kills the Wilson gets here, simply by holding the proper position. So I spawn back in. Let's see what's going to happen. I want to make sure, I believe at some point the enemy starts to cap D, rather B. That's the problem. Because if they cap B, again, trying to communicate to my team, if they cap B, then the enemy is just going to spread out. Now, this smoke here is the test smoke, meaning is anybody there? Can I cross this open area right here? Because that's the kill zone right here. As I get killed by a player, I believe he had an LMG, Sacking, which is a great gun. Hard to use, but it hits hard. So again, I spawn in, and I'm disappointed in myself. Why? Because I didn't check my rear. I didn't check, rather, my right side at that point in time. Had I looked, I might have been able to save my life and remove those people off the point. So now they cap B, which is what I didn't want to happen. Because from B, it's like dominoes. Here we have a player not really adding much to the game, unfortunately. You know, sniping. I often talk about snipers. I don't have a problem with sniping as long as you're adding and you're helping your team. Again, I get killed here. If your sniping is just self-serving, you're there for your own KD, you're not really helping the team. So if you're going to snipe, be a combat sniper and hold an objective. Just don't hold home base. There's no benefit in that. So now we have B. I'm throwing the smoke in here as to fish, so to speak. Now let's be careful. Pay attention. That area I just looked at on my left, that's on my left right now, is their spawn. Once I touch, that's going to trigger anybody who's going to come to defend to try to spawn in. But now, a lot is happening, and it's happening fast. Right now, some of our teammates, some of my teammates are in their spawn. The enemy is not going to spawn there. So where does the enemy spawn? They will spawn in their B spawn. Pay attention to that. That's huge. Typically, an enemy will spawn in a certain area. Let's say area A. If you know how to recognize it over time, you have the experience, you know what to expect, where they're coming from. Again, Dragon playing well. You know where the enemy is coming from. But what happens if you and your teammates are in that area? The enemy will spawn in a B spawn. What is the B spawn? The B spawn is actually your spawn, where you would have spawned if you were trying to take the point. But I'll save that for another video, inshallah. And I have to actually show you concrete examples. I can't believe I lost that gunfight there. But again, you know, good shooting from Speed Rituals. So again, we got 2 points, and I don't want to lose the lead that we have. So what I'm trying to draw your attention to in this video is another point of benefit, which is going to be, I can't believe I'm actually going to say this publicly, because to me, it's a secret. My family know it. I know it. It comes from years of experience. Here it is. The term is distract attack. Distract attack is a formula for winning gunfights. Again, Dragon, Garden Sea, good job. A distract attack is a formula for winning gunfights. Use something, anything, to get the enemy's attention. Use something that's going to have the enemy pull his attention, pull his reticle, or even at least pull his mind off the objective. By objective, I mean it could be simple as pulling the trigger. It could be as simple as checking a corner. It could be anything. You want to distract the enemy before you attack the enemy. So, for example, here, the enemies are being distracted by the people pushing it in front of me. That's the distraction. I'll give you another example of that. Here, I'm trying to slow the enemy up. Putting down a mine in this corner. First, I fish. Then I put down a mine. Great. That mine is hopefully to kill or to serve as an alarm, at least.
Soft target destroyed.
So I know their spawn is going to be behind this warehouse that's right in front of me right now. They're going to spawn to the right of that, and they have to move diagonally. So we having trouble on E. I want to put my weight behind E to help us to cap it faster by putting myself on the objective itself. I put down a trophy for my team. Those are going to stay behind and defend. Now we still got work to do. We don't have C. We don't have B. That's a misclick for myself. I got to work on that. I tried to mount that corner. I started getting shot in the back. I tried to mount that corner, but I didn't take that area correctly. So I got 2 people on the mini map. Notice below me. So I have to approach with caution. Check out my corners. Pop around the corner. Take out 2 of them. Great. Now, as I said, so they got D. What do I have to do? I get killed. No problem. I just have to reset and get back into the fight. Spawn on a teammate. And I catch somebody here. Now here we go. This is going to be, again, what did I tell you about spawns? If this is the spawn for C for the enemy team, because they're coming from E, they spawn here in the garage, or they spawn up top. But currently we're in the garage. So where's the enemy team going to spawn at? They're going to spawn in our spawn, the A spawn. I don't want that to happen, so I push over to the other side because it's easier for myself. Now, if you notice the mini map, if you look at the mini map, you'll see multiple players, and here they come. You'll see multiple players spawning in. That's the second one. You'll see multiple players spawning in, and when they spawn in, they spawned in their spawn, the correct spawn. I don't want them coming from behind us in our spawn, so I wanted to vacate their spawn. That may be a little confusing. But again, inshallah, I said I'll leave that for another video. I noticed somebody on the mini map. I don't want to leave the straggler behind. I'm getting shot in the back. I'm not sure from who or from where. Hopefully other people also see this person on the mini map, but still, I have to see with my eyes that this area is clear. Come inside the room, check the corners as much as I can. Nobody's here. Good, let's go. So now we have, again, getting attacked by speed rituals. And this time I actually win the fight. Great. So now we have 4 points and the enemy is down to 1. So I want to put as much pressure on them as possible. Again, checking my left side. Why am I checking my left so often? Because that's when the enemy could flank from if they're coming from the garage that's below my feet. I'm also about kind of close to a Wilson. So I want to play a bit more cautiously. That mine there is to guard the rear if anybody comes around. And I'm still checking the areas that other players, the enemy players, might pop up at. Let's get on the point. So now I start pushing up. Again, with caution, not throwing myself into a middle of a bunch of barrels shooting bullets at me. Take out the player, reload the gun, and get ready to go in again. But I think it's best at this point in time to reposition because other people are going to be looking up top. So now I have to go in as cautiously as possible. Pay attention to the distract attack. There's a gunfight. The player on my left is looking up. He's distracted. That's why I'm able to take advantage of that and do what I need to do, which is push in to the point and slow up the enemy team. Still, the point is contested, so I want to try to call in the Wilson. Now, the Wilson is great, right? Able to mop up some kills, and it just gives you superior firepower. I'm highlighting E, telling my teammates, let's go, let's push. Let's go, let's push. Take this objective. Take out one player, take out another player. I'm getting shot by the JLTV. Now I'm flying blind, but this is muscle memory. How did I make it through that smoke with the Wilson? That's just from experience in playing the game. This player has to go. So I take out one gunner and another. I think all of that damage came from the collision between me and that vehicle. Shot in the back from the people coming from their spawn. As I mentioned before, they spawn, if you're coming from the A side, they're going to spawn to the right of that warehouse. So again, we still got the enemy team here. And we want to keep them pinned. So I try my best to get them a point. This is just sloppy for myself. This is sloppiness. I survive it, alhamdulillah. I survived, and I'm able to get on the point. Put down the trophy system and try to fortify my location as well as the location of other teammates. Looking for legs. I could shoot anything that you can. So now we're coming to the end. And again, I'm trying to watch where the enemy will come from. They will come either from my right. They can't jump over this wall. So they will come either from my right or from my left in that situation. I take advantage of the smoke and I put shots on players. That's just blind shooting into an area. Just in case somebody was going to push out. I wanted to be ready for that. And then finally, I got killed by who? Somebody in home base. Not expecting that. In the end, this was a GG. So what do I want you to take away from this? I want you to take away the formula of distract, attack. In the end, I come away with 29 kills and I believe 5 or 6 caps and 11 deaths. Not bad. It's about a KD of 3. But what's most important is the mentality that you need. This is not speed. This is just applying years of knowledge. So inshallah, I see you all in the next one. Barakallahu li wa iyyakum.